What's good? What's good, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well. So, new week, new setups. I have multiple setups that I'm looking at right now. Last week, I was down 1% in my funded account, but I'll be back this week. I'm telling you guys. So, there's a lot of setups that are in my watch list. For example, right now, I have like six of them. I'm just gonna take probably one or two of them. But you have to understand something. Right now, the geopolitical pressure, the most important thing right now is the tension in the Middle East. Either we are getting closer to a deal or further. If we are getting closer to a deal, we should be looking for risk on trade setups. If we are getting further, you should be looking for risk off trade setup. What do I mean getting closer to a deal? Okay, if the Strait of Hormuz opens, we are getting closer to a deal. If the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, we are getting further from a deal. Okay, depends on the tension and what's going on. If it's positive, I don't know what you call positive. If the war is getting closer to an end, that's hawkish. That's risk on. If it's getting further, that's risk off. So these are the setups. The first GBP CAD. This is more of a risk on, risk off. I'm in the middle, neutral trade. Okay, because on Thursday we are expecting contraction in GDP of the United Kingdom, and we had really good data considering the Canadian dollar last week, so GB cash shorts will be interesting. The only problem is the oil price. If the oil prices are still higher, that's good for the GBP CAD. If they are getting lower, probably not the best. Next setup is AUD CAD. So it's going to be interesting because first of all, we have RBA statement on Tuesday, the RBA meeting. If the RBA is hawkish, that means they are expecting more rate hikes in the future. That's good for this pair. But if they are dovish, I'm not gonna be taking AUD CAD, but instead NZD CAD. By the way, AUD CAD and NZD CAD are risk on setups. Because if oil prices drop, Canadian dollar will probably drop too, and AUD CAD will get higher. And NZD CAD do the same thing. Because AUD and NZD are the risk on asset in the foreign market. Next, NZD CAD, like I said, I'll be looking for it if we are the risk on and oil prices drop. GP NZD contraction in the GDP of the United Kingdom. That's dovish for the pound. Also, New Zealand dollar, the most probably one of the most hawkish banks. Um, yeah, there's the EC, the Euro Central Bank, which is more hawkish, and the Fed. Other than that, that's the most hawkish bank. Uh, NZDJPY, I will looking for longs if we are in a risk on environment. If the Strait of Hormuz opens and we have an ease in attention, we are getting closer to an MOU signing or a deal. NZDJPY is interesting because New Zealand dollar is a risk on environment setup, risk on asset, and Japanese yen is a risk off asset. So NZDJPY is interesting. The only reason I'll be looking forward to take it also on the technical part is if we have a daily closure above all the way to this level, a retest candle, and I'll be looking for longs. Last but not least, GPJPY. This one is interesting if we are in a risk off environment because we are expecting a contraction maybe in the United Kingdom GDP. Also, um, Japanese yen will strengthen only if we are in risk off, if the bomb starts dropping again and the war keeps on going. So yeah, those are the setups that I'm looking for. Not too much setups, not too many setups, but yeah, quality is better than quantity because I realized that whenever I take multiple trades, like more than four trades in a week, I end up losing that week. If I take like two setups, I'm in winning trade. So yeah, less is more in trading. So these are the setups, and pay attention to the tension in the Middle East. Also, the inflation data which is going to be released concerning the dollar. If inflation comes up lower, that's really good because dollar will probably drop, and you could be looking for maybe USD CHF shorts, right? This one will be interesting if you have a pullback, right? And you should be looking for euro longs because euro benefits from the dollar dovishness. Okay. Hopefully y'all like the video. Subscribe, and if y'all have any questions, y'all can follow my social. I got my Telegram. I share everything, my losses, everything in my lesson that I've learned. So yeah, have a good week. Peace.